In this video, we explore the top 5 expensive and ultra-rare Lincoln Wheat Penny that every coin collector and old coin lover should know about. These Lincoln Wheat Pennies may look ordinary at first glance, but some dates, mint marks, and conditions can make them extremely valuable and highly collectible. Welcome back to OldCoin Secrets. Coin number 1, 1929 S Wheat Penny. Today we are talking about the 1929 S Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that many people still underestimate, but serious collectors never ignore. If you collect old coins, or if you have inherited wheat pennies from family members, this video is extremely important for you, because this penny is not just old, it's historically powerful. Basic introduction of the 1929 S Wheat Penny. The 1929 S Wheat Penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint. The small S mint mark below the date confirms its origin. Coin design. Obverse, Abraham Lincoln. Designer, Victor David Brenner. Reverse, 2 wheat ears with 1 cent. This design was used from 1909 to 1958, and the 1929 S sits right in the heart of the classic wheat era. Historical background. The Great Depression begins. The year 1929 changed the world forever. This was the year of the great stock market crash. The beginning of the Great Depression. Banks failed, businesses closed. Millions of Americans lost jobs. Coins from this period are deeply respected by collectors because they were heavily used, rarely saved, often melted or lost. That means high-grade survivors are extremely scarce today. Owning a 1929 S Wheat Penny is like holding a piece of survival history. Metal composition and specifications. This penny is made from real bronze, not modern zinc. Specifications. Year 1929. Mint mark S, San Francisco. Composition, 95% copper, 5% zinc and tin. Weight, 3.11 grams. Diameter, 19 mm. Edge, plain. The high copper content alone makes this coin desirable, but its history multiplies the value. Mintage, lower than most wheat pennies. The San Francisco Mint produced approximately 50 million 1929 S wheat pennies. Compared to billions of later wheat cents, this is a much lower mintage. But here's the key fact. Most of these coins were circulated heavily during the Depression. So today, brown worn coins are common. Red or high-grade coins are genuinely rare. 1929 S Wheat Penny value breakdown. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know. Value. Heavily circulated brown. 0.50, 150. Fine to very fine. Clear date and wheat lines. $2, 5. Extremely fine. Sharp details, light wear. 6, 12. About uncirculated. Strong details, minimal wear. $15, 30. Uncirculated red-brown. 40, 75. Full red, RD condition. Bright original copper. 150, 300 plows. Top grade PCGS example. A PCGS MS66 red 1929 S wheat. Penny has sold for 40,000 plows at auction. That's the power of low mintage. The historical importance. High grade. Rare errors and varieties to look for. Some 1929 S wheat pennies are worth far more due to mint errors. Repunched mint mark RPM. S punched more than once. Value $100, $500. Off-center strikes. Partial design missing. Value depends on severity. Decrex. Raised lines across the coin. Value $50, $300. Weak strike errors. Common in San Francisco issues. Strong examples bring premiums. Error coins turn a $1 penny into a collector treasure. How to identify a valuable 1929 S wheat penny? Check carefully. Date must read 1929. Clear S mint mark. Strong wheat ear lines. Minimal scratches. Red or red-brown color. Never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys collector value instantly. Why collectors want the 1929 S wheat penny? Collectors love this coin because a Depression-era history. And lower mintage than later years. The San Francisco Mint popularity. Strong copper content. Excellent long-term investment. This coin is considered a key semi-date for wheat penny collections. Should you sell or hold this coin? Here's smart advice. Worn coin, hold or sell modestly. Uncirculated coin, strong candidate for grading. Error coin, authenticate immediately. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC sell for much higher prices. A penny from hard times. The 1929 S Wheat Penny is more than just money. It represents survival, struggle, history, endurance. People once depended on this penny during the hardest years America ever faced. And today, that same penny could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So next time you see a worn wheat penny from 1929, don't ignore it. It might be carrying a story and value far greater than you expect. Coin number 2, 1953D Wheat Penny. Basic introduction of the 1953D Wheat Penny. The 1953D Wheat Penny was minted in the United States at the Denver Mint. The small D mint mark below the date tells us it was struck in Denver. On the front obverse, we see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the back, reverse, 2 wheat ears surround the words 1 cent. A classic design used from 1909 to 1958. This makes the 1953D part of the final decade of wheat pennies, which collectors love. Historical background: America in 1953. The year 1953 was a calm but important period in American history. World War II was long over. America was experiencing economic growth, industrial expansion, and rising consumer culture. Coins from this era were made for heavy circulation, used daily by millions, not saved in perfect condition. That's why high-grade examples of the 1953D wheat penny are much harder to find today than people expect. Metal composition and coin specifications. Let's look at the technical details collectors care about. Year 1953. Mint mark D Denver. Composition: 95% copper, 5% zinc and tin. Weight: 3.11 grams. Diameter: 19 mm. Edge plain. This is real copper money, not like modern zinc pennies. Because of this, copper value and collector demand keep this coin relevant even today. Mintage: how many were made? The Denver Mint produced approximately 700 plus million 1953D wheat pennies. Yes, that's a very high number. But here's the key truth. Most were heavily circulated and damaged. Finding a fully red coin with sharp wheat lines, no major marks, is extremely difficult today. 1953D wheat penny value, collector market. Now let's talk about value. Circulated condition: worn, brown color, 003, 010. Extremely fine to about uncirculated. Light wear, decent details, 025D1. Uncirculated, red-brown. 30, full red, RD condition. Bright copper color, $15, $35. Top grade PCGS coins. A PCGS MS67 red example has sold for 32,000 plus at auction. Yes, friends, even a high mintage wheat penny can reach thousands of dollars if the condition is exceptional. Rare errors and varieties to watch for. This is where things get exciting. Some valuable 1953D wheat penny errors include doubled die obverse, doubling on date or letters. Value: $100, 500 plus. Repunched mint mark RPM, D mint mark punched twice. Value: $50, $300. Off center strike, misaligned design. Value depends on percentage, D cracks and D chips, raised lines or blobs. Value: $40, $200. Error coins turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. How to identify a valuable 1953D wheat penny? Use this checklist. Clear 1953 date. D mint mark below the date. Sharp wheat stalk details. Minimal scratches. Red or reddish-brown color. The closer your coin looks to new, the more valuable it becomes. Why collectors still want the 1953D wheat penny? Collectors like this coin because classic wheat penny design, high copper content, a final era wheat cent, a affordable entry coin, a strong demand in high grade. It's a perfect beginner collector coin with upside potential. Should you sell or hold this coin? Here's honest advice. Worn coin, hold or sell cheaply. Uncirculated, consider professional grading. Error coin, never clean, get it authenticated. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC sell for much higher prices. Don't underestimate this penny. The 1953D wheat penny teaches us something important. Condition matters more than mintage. Millions were made, but very few survived in top shape. So if you own one, check it carefully. Don't clean it. Don't rush to sell, because what looks like a simple penny might actually be a quiet collector favorite. Coin number 3, 1946 D wheat penny. Basic introduction of the 1946 D wheat penny. The 1946 D wheat penny was minted in the United States at the Denver Mint. The small letter D below the date stands for Denver, one of the most important U.S. mints. On the obverse front, you see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, back, there are two wheat stalks, which is why collectors call it a wheat penny. This design was used from 1909 to 1958, making it one of the most loved coin designs in American history. Historical background, why 1946 is special. The year 1946 is extremely important. This was the first full year after World War II. America was shifting from war to peace. During the war years, metal shortages forced the U.S. Mint to change coin compositions. But by 1946, copper was back and strong again. The 1946 D wheat penny symbolizes economic recovery, industrial strength, a nation rebuilding itself. This makes the coin historically meaningful, not just collectible. Metal composition and specifications. Collectors always care about technical details, so let's break them down. Year 1946, mint mark D Denver. Metal composition, 95% copper, 5% zinc and tin. Weight, 3.11 grams. Diameter, 19 mm. Edge plain. Because of its high copper content, this penny is heavier and more valuable than modern pennies. Mintage, how many were made? In 1946, the Denver Mint produced approximately 315 million coins. At first glance, that sounds like a lot. But here's the key point. High-grade examples are very rare today. Most of these pennies were heavily circulated, got scratched, lost their red copper color. Finding one in top condition is extremely difficult. 1946 D wheat penny value, updated collector market. Now let's talk about the most exciting part. Value. Circulated condition. If your coin shows wear, 005, 025. Uncirculated condition. Sharp details, little wear. $3 bill. Red RD condition. Bright original copper color. 0.40. High-grade PCGS coins. This is where things get serious. A PCGS graded MS67. Red 1946 D wheat penny has sold for 8,000 plus at auction. Yes, a penny from 1946 sold for thousands of dollars. Why? Perfect strike. Original red copper color. No damage. Professional grading. Rare errors and varieties to look for. Errors can turn an ordinary coin into a jackpot. Some known errors for the 1946 D wheat penny include double die errors, doubling in date or letters. Value, $100, 500 plus. Off-center strike, misaligned design. Value depends on severity. Decracks and cuts, visible cracks or raised metal. Value, $50, $300. Wrong planche errors, extremely rare. Value can exceed $1,000. Always examine your coin carefully with a magnifying glass. How to identify a valuable 1946 D wheat penny. Here's what you should check. Cleared 1946 date. D mint mark under the date. Sharp wheat lines on the reverse. Minimal scratches. Red or reddish-brown color. The cleaner and brighter the coin, the higher the value. Why collectors love the 1946 D wheat penny. Collectors value this coin because the post-war historical importance, high copper content, a classic wheat design, Denver Mint popularity, a strong auction demand. Even though it's not the rarest wheat penny, it's a solid collector coin. Should you sell or hold this coin? Here's expert advice. Average condition, hold or sell casually. Red or uncirculated, consider grading. Error coin, never sell raw. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC can multiply the value. Ordinary penny or hidden treasure. The 1946 D wheat penny proves one powerful truth. Not every valuable coin looks valuable. It might be in your pocket, in your old collection, inherited from family, and you may have ignored it for years. So next time you see a 1946 D penny, don't ignore it, because it might not be just a penny. It could be history in your hand. Coin number 4, 1957 D wheat penny. At first glance, it looks like a normal old penny. Many people have seen it. Many have spent it, and many still ignore it. But collectors know something important. Now we are talking about the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin from the second last year of the wheat penny era, and one of the most misunderstood copper cents in U.S. coin history. Watch till the end because this penny has a story worth hearing. Basic introduction of the 1957 D Wheat Penny. The 1957 D Wheat Penny was minted at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark below the date confirms its origin. Coin design. Obverse Abraham Lincoln. Designer Victor David Brenner. Reverse 2 wheat ears with 1 cent. This design was used from 1909 to 1958, making the 1957D part of the closing chapter of the Wheat Penny series. Collectors especially value coins from the first years and the final years. That already puts the 1957D in a collector important position. Historical background: America in 1957. The year 1957 was a turning point. America was entering the space age, experiencing economic growth, moving toward modernization. In fact, Sputnik was launched in 1957, changing world history. At the same time, the U.S. Mint was preparing to end the wheat penny design forever. Just 1 year later, in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial Penny would replace it. That makes the 1957D Wheat Penny a near-final wheat penny, a symbol of the end of a classic era. Metal composition and specifications. This is real copper money, not modern zinc. Specifications: year 1957, mint mark D Denver. Composition: 95% copper, 5% zinc and tin. Weight: 3.11 grams. Diameter: 19 mm. Edge plain. Because of its high copper content, this penny also attracts coin collectors, copper investors. Mintage: why condition matters. The Denver Mint produced approximately 1.5 billion 1957D wheat pennies. Yes, over 1 billion. So you might think, here's the truth. Almost all were heavily circulated. They were used daily, stored poorly, scratched, darkened, and damaged. Finding a fully red mark-free example today is extremely rare. 1957D wheat penny value, market breakdown. Let's talk money. Circulated condition: brown color, heavy wear. 003, 010, extremely fine. Light wear, readable details. 025, 075, about uncirculated. Sharp wheat lines, little wear. $1.03, uncirculated red-brown. 5-12, full red, RD condition. Bright original copper. 2040. Top grade PCGS example. A PCGS MS 67 plus, red, May 1957. D wheat penny has sold for 11,000 pallet auction. Yes, friends, a billion mintage penny can still reach thousands of dollars. If condition is perfect, rare errors and valuable varieties. This is where collectors get excited. Double die obverse, DDO. Doubling in date or letters. Value, $100, 800 plus. Repunched mint mark, RPM. D punched more than once. Value, $50, $300. Off center strike. Partial design missing. Value depends on percentage. D cracks and D chips. Raised lines or blobs. Value, $40, $200. Error coins turn a common penny into a rare collectible. How to check if your coin is valuable. Use this simple checklist. Date clearly reads 1957. D mint mark below date. Sharp wheat stalk details. Minimal scratches. Red or reddish brown color. Never clean your coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Why collectors love the 1957D wheat penny. Collectors want this coin because near final wheat penny year. High copper content. An affordable collector coin. A strong demand in high grades. Excellent long-term hold. It's considered a smart entry coin for new collectors. Sell or hold, what should you do? Here's honest advice. Worn coin, hold or sell cheaply. Uncirculated, consider grading. Error coin, get it authenticated. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC sell for much higher prices. Don't ignore this penny. The 1957D wheat penny proves one important rule. Rarity is not only about how many were made, it's about how many survived in perfect condition. So if you have one, look closely, handle carefully. Don't underestimate it, because what looks like a simple copper cent might actually be a hidden collector asset. Coin number 5, 1954, D wheat penny. At first glance it may look ordinary, but collectors know this penny has more value than most people realize. If you collect wheat pennies or have old coins from parents or grandparents, basic introduction of the 1954 D wheat penny. The 1954 D wheat penny was minted at the Denver Mint. The small D mint mark under the date tells us exactly where it was made. Coin design. Obverse, Abraham Lincoln. Designer, Victor David Brenner. Reverse, 2 wheat ears with 1 cent. This was part of the final decade of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which ended in 1958. That makes the 1954 D a coin from the closing chapter of a legendary era. Historical background. America in the 1950s. The year 1954 was a time of growth and optimism in the United States. World War II was over. Factories were booming. Families were buying homes and cars. Coins were produced in huge numbers to support a growing economy. But here's the key point, because these coins were meant to be used, not saved. Most 1954D wheat pennies were heavily circulated, scratched, turned brown over time. That's why high-grade survivors are much harder to find today. Metal composition and specifications. Unlike modern pennies, the 1954D is made from real bronze. Specifications. Year 1954. Mint mark D Denver. Composition 95% copper, 5% zinc and tin. Weight 3.11 grams. Diameter 19 mm. Edge plain. Because of its high copper content, this coin is also affected by metal prices, which adds long-term appeal. Mintage, very high, but condition is everything. The Denver Mint produced approximately 251 million 1954D wheat pennies. Yes, that's a large number. But here's what collectors understand. Mintage does not equal availability in high grade. Most of these coins were spent daily, lost original red color, developed wear and damage. That's why mint state red examples are scarce and valuable. 1954D Wheat Penny Value Guide. Now let's talk about value, the part everyone waits for. Circulated brown. Heavy wear, dark color. 003, 010. Fine to very fine. Clear date and wheat lines. 025, 075. Extremely fine. Sharp details, light wear. $1.03. About uncirculated. Minimal wear, good luster. $5.10. Uncirculated red-brown. $15.30. Full red RD mint state. Original bright copper. 75 200 plus. Top grade auction results. A PCGS MS67 red 1954D wheat penny has sold for 7,000 plus at auction. Yes, a penny from the 1950s selling for thousands of dollars. That's the power of condition. A color. Professional grading. Rare errors and varieties to watch for. This is where things get exciting. Some 1954D wheat pennies are worth far more due to mint errors. Double die obverse, DDO. Doubling on date or lettering. Value $200, 1,000 plus. Repunched mint mark RPM. D appears doubled or shifted. Value $50, $400. Off-center strikes. Partial design missing. Value depends on percentage off-center. D cracks and cuts. Raised lines or blobs of metal. Value $50, $300. Error coins transform a common penny into a collector's prize. How to identify a valuable 1954D penny. Use these steps. Check the date, 1954. Look for a clear D mint mark. Examine wheat ear lines. Sharp is better. Look for original red color. Search carefully for errors with a magnifier. Never clean the coin. Cleaning removes original surfaces and destroys value. Why collectors still want this coin? Collectors value the 1954D wheat penny because, or it's part of the final wheat penny era, are made of solid bronze. Denver Mint coins are popular. High-grade examples are scarce. Excellent beginner and investment coin. It's often considered a sleeping giant among wheat pennies. Should you sell or keep the 1954D wheat penny? Here's smart advice. Worn coin. Keep as history or sell modestly. Uncirculated coin. Consider professional grading. Error coin. Authenticate immediately. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC can sell for 10x to 100x more than raw coins. A penny from a growing nation. The 1954D wheat penny tells the story of a nation rebuilding, growing and moving forward. It may look common, but in the right condition, it becomes rare, valuable and highly collectible. So next time you see a wheat penny from 1954 with a small D below the date, don't ignore it. It might be a collector coin, an error variety, or even a future auction star. So friends, today we explored 5 different coins, each one telling its own story of American history, hidden value and collector demand. These coins may look simple at first glance, but as you've seen, condition, mint mark, and rare errors can turn an ordinary penny into a valuable treasure. This is your reminder, never ignore old coins. Always check dates, mint marks and details. And most importantly, history often hides in small places. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another rare coin story. Let us know in the comments which coin surprised you the most. Until next time, keep searching. because the next rare coin could already be in your pocket.